Hello, I'm Maggie Hammond. I teach on the Complete Creative Writing course, and I've worked as a novelist, a publisher, a journalist, and I'm the author of Creative Writing for Dummies. I'm here to answer some common questions about writing. There are basically 4 kinds of endings to stories. It's not rocket science. There are happy endings, there are sad or tragic endings, there are open endings, and there are endings with a twist. It's important to think that when you're writing your story, that you might not actually know how it's going to end. It's much easier to keep up suspense in the reader's mind if you're not certain how your story is going to work out. Sometimes where your story ends and the kind of ending you have is to do with where you draw the line. For instance, you might draw the line where your characters get married and it's a happy ending, but if you continued the story for 3 years, you'd find out they got divorced, and that would be a tragedy. It's important, if you're thinking about an open ending, that this can be a really good way to end a story. An open ending doesn't mean that your story is unresolved. It still has to have the climax. But after the climax, you can leave it open. So for instance, the climax of a story might be that a character realizes they're in love with somebody, but we don't actually go on to find out whether they get married or not. With a twist ending, you have to realize that the twist should be something that the reader will then realize was obvious all along, except that they never saw it. It's important that a twist fits in with the story. So when you read the twist at the end, you think, of course, why didn't I realize that earlier? Now I understand everything. It's important when you do your ending that it answers whatever dramatic question you posed at the beginning of the story. It's important to answer that question to satisfy your reader. And that's how to end a story.